Why do people post to TikTok? What is a virtual classroom? Do you use AI? What's with all these fake photos?
Did you go to an arcade? How many TV channels were there? What was dial-up internet? Did you hang out at the mall?
From the class of 1996 with big hair, AOL, and whatever.
And the class of 2026 with YouTube, smartphones, and mask mandates.
You're listening to Midlife Young. Batmobile lost a wheel and Joker got away. Hey!
I think you forgot the first part of the song.
This episode is part 2 of Christmas traditions, so I figured I'd sing the second line.
Oh, that's right. Last week we talked about decorating for Christmas and holiday specials. Which, by the way, if you have not listened to last week's podcast, I think the Grinch is keeping a list. Just saying.
I thought it was Santa's naughty and nice list.
Remember the Grinch's heart was 2 sizes too small?
Greasel Fritz, go snickle back to last week's podwizzle, Yahoo nibblers.
Okay. Let me help our audience. If you don't check out last week's podcast, he's going to talk in Whoville for the rest of the podcast.
Go boingly boingly back to last week's poddly waddly whizzlecast before your brain goes all flu.
Quick, before it's too late. Press pause now. We will wait. Okay, we'll come back.
Now that you're all caught up, let's do some cooking. The kitchen smelled like Christmas long before the tree was trimmed. It was the Saturday before Christmas, and the counters were dusted with flour like fresh snow. Mom stood at the Formica countertop, rolling out sugar cookie dough with that same wooden roller pin. The radio played Bing Crosby and a few newer tunes from the Carpenters, while kids fought over the star-shaped cookie cutter. Sugar cookies were the crown jewel of holiday baking. In the 1980s, they weren't just treats, they were little canvases. We covered them with tinted icing and sprinkled them with colored sugar. The cookies would later be tucked into tins with wax paper, ready to be delivered to neighbors. It was the era before store-bought trays. Homemade meant love. On the other side of the kitchen, Dad was engineering his annual gingerbread house. He was determined to outdo last year's design. The smell of molasses and ginger filled the air as he glued walls together with royal icing, his hands sticking from the powdered sugar. Gumdrops lined the roof like colorful shingles, and candy canes framed the door. By evening, the house would sit proudly on the dining room table, a centerpiece admired, but rarely eaten, though some would always nibble on the chimney before New Year's. And then there was the fruitcake, dense, dark, and spiked with brandy. Mom had baked it weeks earlier, wrapped it in cheesecloth, and doused it with a splash of rum every few days. In the 80s, fruitcake was a labor of love, not a punchline. It was tradition, a recipe passed down from Grandma, studded with candied cherries and pecans. When sliced, it gleamed like stained glass. By nightfall, the kitchen was a wonderland of tins and platters. We packed sugar cookies into coffee cans covered in foil and tied with a red yarn bow. A plate of gingerbread men, each with crooked smiles, was wrapped for the neighbor next door. A wedge of fruitcake was tucked into a box for our uncle, who swore it tasted better every year. Then came the ritual. Bundling up in coats, loading the station wagon, and making the rounds. We'd knock on doors, exchange hugs, and leave behind a little sweetness. Sometimes we'd come home with a plate of someone else's fudge or cookies, because sharing was a language of Christmas. Those nights were simple, yet magical. No smartphones, no online orders, just the hum of conversation, the crunch of snow under the boots, and the warmth of giving something made by hand. In the glow of the tree lights, with the scent of gingerbread lingering in the air, it felt like Christmas wasn't just a day. It was a season of connection.
All that talk about cookies, now I'm hungry.
Oh, I can smell it now.
Smells like fire when you make them.
I don't burn the cookies.
I do.
That's right. I don't really make the cookies, do I? What's your favorite cookie, though?
Chocolate chip cookies without the chocolate chips, but before they're cooked.
For a holiday cookie?
Just in general.
True. It's a good cookie all the time. Now, one of the cookies I really liked was a cream cheese mince.
Are those tiny little ones?
Yes, I had to figure out the name. I couldn't remember what they were called. I just called them like sugar cookies, but that's not what they are because there's a sugar cookie. They use these tiny rubber molds. You made trees, bells, wreaths, stars, and they were always these goofy colors, blue, green, yellow, pink, red. And of course, you had to keep them in the fridge or the freezer because they were so soft. But they were soft, sweet, slightly minty flavored. And of course, you'd always serve them with the rest of the trays of those Christmas cookies.
How do you make them?
All right. Let me put on my apron. How to make cream cheese mince. Mix cream cheese in a large bowl. Beat the softened cream cheese until smooth. Gradually add powdered sugar, 1 cup at a time, until a stiff, moldable dough forms. Mix in vanilla, if that's your personal preference. Divide dough into portions for different colors and add food coloring to each portion. Knead until the color is even. Press dough into small holiday molds, creating your trees, your stars, your bells, and so on. And then, of course, smooth the backs with the knife if needed. Now it's time to chill. Place that molded candies on the tray and refrigerate for at least 1 to 2 hours, or until firm. For faster firming, you could freeze for 15 to 30 minutes. Sounds like the way I would do it. Gently pop the mince out of the molds and arrange on a plate. They keep well in the fridge for 1 to 2 weeks.
Pulling out your inner Julia Child, I see.
You know Julia Child?
No, you wrote it on the script. I have no idea who that is.
Future episode.
So back to this episode, what about gingerbread houses?
I know. I don't recall actually building one or having my dad build one or anything like that. Even though maybe a couple times we bought one, but I don't remember much about it. Do you recall ever building a gingerbread house?
I do not.
But somehow it's a memory out there for some people. I just know it exists as a holiday thing, but I don't remember ever participating.
What is this cake with fruit? And spiked with rum?
Well, it's actually called a fruitcake. Honestly, I didn't know that it was spiked with rum either, because the versions that I have ever tasted weren't spiked with rum. And usually fruitcake, they were disgusting. These hard pieces of bread with dried fruit in them. Some people like them. I don't know.
Just get some angel fruitcake and some fresh fruit, some whipped cream.
Ooh, that sounds so much better.
That's the actual fruitcake.
I think we'll do that as our holiday tradition instead. Forget the fruitcake.
You're buying it.
And then, do you recall ever sharing cookies?
Depends what you mean.
I know. Who could give up cookies?
Oh, I was imagining like you take a bite out of it and you give it to someone else.
Only one bite? That cookie was not leaving my hand. I mean, I'm just saying. But yes, there was some family sharing of cookies or bringing a plate to church and sharing it with some other church fellow families. And who could forget visiting Santa? The mall was alive with the hum of holiday magic. Fluorescent lights bounced off the polished tile floors, and the faint scent of cinnamon pretzels mingled with the cool winter air that slipped in every time the glass door swung open. It was the 1980s, and the mall wasn't just a place to shop, it was a heartbeat of the season. Families streamed in, kids tugging at mittened hands, their parents' leather shoes clicking like tiny bells. Little girls wore velvet dresses and white lace collars, and boys sported stiff sweaters their mother had ironed that morning. Everyone headed towards the same destination, Santa's throne, perched beneath a towering artificial tree draped in tinsel so shiny it could blind you if the light hit just right. The lines sneaked past the fountain, where teenagers tossed pennies and whispered wishes. Parents clutched Polaroid cameras, though most opted for the official photo, because nothing said Christmas like the glossy 5x7 with Santa's arm around your shoulder and a plastic candy cane in your hand. The mall echoed with carols piped through tinny speakers, and every so often, the jingle of coins dropped into the Salvation Army kettle. After the photos were taken and cheeks were kissed by a bearded man who smelled faintly of peppermint and mothballs, the real adventure began. Coats were zipped, scarves wrapped tight, and families piled into station wagons and boxy sedans. Their breath fogged the windows as they set out in the night. Neighborhoods transformed into wonderlands. Lawns glowed with that reindeer frozen mid-leap, and rooftops twinkling like stars had fallen. Some houses went all out, Santa in a sleigh, complete with animatronic elves hammering away at wood toys. Others kept it simple, a single candle flickering in every window, a quiet nod to tradition. Kids pressed their nose to the glass, leaving smudges as they shouted, "Look, that one has a snowman taller than Dad." Parents drove slowly, letting the magic linger, the car filled with the soft strains of holiday tunes from the cassette deck. It was a ritual as sacred as trimming the tree or hanging the stockings, a shared memory of awe before the season swept everyone into its whirlwind. And as the night wore on, the glow of the lights reflected in wide eyes and the hum of the trees on cold pavement. It felt like time itself had paused, just for a little while, long enough for families to believe that Christmas wasn't just a day on the calendar. It was a feeling, stitched together from laughter, lights, and the warmth of being together.
That in itself sounds like a Christmas story.
I recall all the busyness of the mall.
I want to go to the mall.
You should try it during Christmas.
No, thank you.
I know it's the busiest time of the year. It's not like it used to be, though. Malls were really busy back then. Buying Christmas gifts for other people. Of course, we weren't allowed to see the Christmas gifts we were going to buy, so the parents always went off and did that on their own.
They just do it online and tell us not to open the packages.
And then meeting Santa. Do you remember meeting Santa?
Yes.
I know, it's kind of a fuzzy area, isn't it? Because, we really don't remember. Besides, how many times did Santa change?
Like 12.
Like 12? You got an exact number. It's 12. He changed 12 times. That's it, just 12.
On the 12th day of Christmas.
And his breath.
Ugh.
Always awful, wasn't it?
I don't know.
He always had to sit on his lap.
Maybe he needs a peppermint.
I know.
Or a candy cane.
Make him have some of those candy canes. Take care of that bad breath.
Mm-hmm.
And then telling Santa what you want. Did you ever get what you told Santa?
I don't know. I never remember what I said.
Maybe you were too scared and didn't want to even be on his lap anymore.
Probably. I won't be surprised.
The strange man with a bad breath. Who wants to sit on their lap? And he looks different every time.
Why was he always different?
You know he's not really Santa, right?
I know.
Who could forget the Salvation Army bucket? It's all over the neighborhood. In front of every grocery store,
Inside.
Target, Walmart, Kmart at the time.
Blue light special.
That's a different episode. You should check it out. But yeah, the parents would give us some coins and we'd be able to put some coins into the Salvation bucket. The one guy sitting there or gal ringing the bell all the time.
With this look on their face of, why am I doing this with my life?
Some of them feel proud to do that job. Actually, I believe all of them are volunteers.
Oh, the ones that I've seen always look like they just don't want to be there.
It was a long night.
Probably.
And then checking out the neighborhood light shows. There's always those neighbors, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have one.
There's a few around this area. I got my driver's license. I could go look at it around.
Check out last episode about the driver's licenses. And then there's certain places that have elaborate light setups, but mostly they're open to the public during certain hours. I know there's one a number of miles from where we live, huge setup that you could actually drive through. It's pretty impressive.
Who could forget opening all the presents?
That's right. That's the next section of our conversation. Well, before we get to the presents, though, I do want to bring up one year a buddy of mine and I decided to go shopping on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you're one of those people.
We tried it only once. It was more or less to see what would happen. Because, of course, by that point, that is last-minute shoppers.
I have to work on Christmas Eve.
Have fun with that.
I won't.
So it was a Kmart. And it was just last minute shopping for a few more people. And we went to the Christmas aisles to try to find some last minute gifts. Most of the shelves were bare. If there was anything, half of it was like already opened product or broken product. To be honest with you, I think it falls more under gag gift at that point.
That's why you order online.
Yeah, but if you order on Christmas Eve online, I don't think you'll get it in time.
That's true.
Let's get back to the opening of presents. The cold December air nips at our cheeks as we step out of the car, dressed in our best, right after the Christmas evening mass. Grandma's house glowed like a beacon in the dark, its windows fogged from the warmth inside. The smell hits us first. Roast meats, buttery rolls, and that unmistakable lutefisk aroma mingling with the sweet scent of cookies stacked high on platters. There were dozens of them, each a little piece of tradition. Inside the living room was a wonderland. Grandma's tree stood proudly in the corner, real and fragrant, its branches heavy with ornaments that bubbled like tiny lava lamps. Today we'd call them a fire hazard, but back then, they were magic. The lights twinkled against the tinsel that shimmered like icicles. We gathered around, excitement barely contained, as Grandma raised her trusty camera. That one with the cube flash perched on top. Every 4 shots, she twisted it off and replaced it. And when that flash went off, it was like staring into the sun. Blind spots danced in our vision as we tore into wrapped paper, laughter echoing through the house. Hours later, sleepy and stuffed, we'd load up the car with gifts, foil-covered leftovers. The night was silent except for the crunch of tires on snow as we drove home through the dark. The cold pressed against the windows. Morning didn't come soon enough. We woke in our Christmas pajamas, hearts pounding, begging Mom and Dad to get up. Dad, ever the documentarian, set the massive 2-piece VHS camera on its tripod, a beast of a machine that captured every squeal and gasp. Those tapes still sit on the shelf by the TV. A dusty archive we rarely watch, but can't bear to throw away. The living room became a battlefield of torn wrapping paper as we compared gifts, each of us convinced ours was the best. Mom appeared with the oversized black trash bag, scooping up the colorful chaos. By afternoon, we were still in our PJs, nibbling on last night's leftovers and playing with our new treasures. From the corner, the record cabinet spun its magic. Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole. Each vinyl dropped with a soft click as the next began. Evening settled in, and we stayed cozy, still in pajamas, as the TV flickered with holiday classics, It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, and the new favorite, A Christmas Story. The glow of the tree lights reflected in the windows, and for a moment, everything felt perfect, warm, simple, and full of love.
Sounds like a Christmas day you'll never forget.
Yeah, I remember getting dressed up for Christmas Eve service. It was always something we did every year. And yes, after Christmas Eve service, we did head over to Grandma's.
We used to go over to my great-grandparents' house on Christmas Eve. I don't remember if it was before or after service.
Grandparents' houses are always interesting, aren't they?
It smells weird.
They do.
They have this weird smell.
The grandparent smell. And then also the look. It's always dated. I always remember thick carpeting. I don't know why, but thick carpeting and grandparents' house just go together, don't they?
It's because their feet.
Because of their feet. They need the extra carpeting, huh?
Yeah. What is lutefisk?
Oh, that's right. Grandma would always make lutefisk. I don't know if she made it right or not. It usually was flavorless. I've been told it's supposed to have flavor to it. We would lather it up with a whole bunch of butter when we ate it. It was interesting. But anytime you go to Grandma's, you always get fed really, really well.
A little too well.
I know, you come waddling out of her house afterward, right?
Yeah. And what was that cube flash?
Oh, that's right. That's old camera equipment. Some of the old cameras, they didn't have battery-operated flashes that would charge up and could be reused over and over again. They had disposable flashes. And so a lot of times they were either in a long bar or in a cube shape. And that would be perched on top of the film camera. And when she'd take a picture, it'd blast that flash out and it would literally burn the bulb out when it did it.
Oh.
So it was one-time use. And so a lot of times, like the cube flashes would turn because there would be like 4 sides to it. So you could get 4 shots out of a flash. And boy, those things were bright. Always give you spots in the eyes. Now, let's get home. And I'm curious. In the middle of the night, have you ever snuck up, got down to the tree, and tried to see if your gifts are there?
Yes.
Who hasn't? I remember doing that as a kid. And there was one year I snuck out of my bedroom and found my parents wrapping one of my presents. And I asked about it. And they said, nope, that's for one of your cousins.
Oh.
No, the next day it was mine. You can't let us know about our gifts. That's just, who could ruin the surprise? It's got to be Santa coming down the chimney, even though we didn't have a chimney, so I don't know how that works.
He cut a hole in your ceiling.
No wonder the roof leaks.
So you always pull out your phone to take pictures. Well, what's with this camera?
Oh, that's right. Christmas morning. My dad was big into video, so I knew about this. And I'm sure there's a lot of other viewers who've got similar stories. But my dad would pull out this big three-legged tripod and a 2-piece camera. We didn't have fancy little cell phones that recorded everything. We had big, huge cameras. And he would set that sucker up, pointed right at the tree, because he wanted to catch every Christmas. And we couldn't touch a present until he got that camera set up and working.
Have you ever watched any of that footage?
No. That's the funny part. We go through this routine every year, recording it, and I don't recall ever rewatching any of it. And then, of course, afterward, what mother doesn't bring out the big black garbage bag?
I think it was White. Our dog likes to go after the boxes.
Oh, he's always so fun with that. You could literally give him a box as a Christmas present, and he'd be thrilled.
He'll rip it apart, and then he'll throw the chunks at everybody.
That is right. Slobbery cardboard chunks.
And then he'll go over and he'll lick you.
That's what he does, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes right back to the box again.
Yep.
Ah, the simple life.
What's a record cabinet?
It's huge. So today our iPhones, or I'll call it the hockey puck not to trigger them, easily play music, right? But record players were still a big thing back then. Cassette tapes and 8-tracks were also around. But these record cabinets could be huge. The size of a coffin.
Oh.
I know, I can't think of any other way to describe it, but it was. It's huge. It's like about that size. All wood grain. Speakers built right in. But the coolest part about it, this is weird tech, but it would hold like a stack of records. And it would automatically drop each record as it would finish playing. So when a record would finish playing, the head would go back, and then all of a sudden it would do its thing and another record would drop down, and then the head would go to the start of the record and start playing again. It was like the coolest tech. We just don't see that nowadays. Nowadays, it's just you press the forward button, or it just does. It goes forward on its own. Or more likely nowadays, it plays an ad every so often.
Sounds like a vending machine.
For music, I suppose. Except for you didn't have to put quarters in it.
You could have made money off that.
My parents weren't thinking about that. Besides, us kids were broke.
Oh.
And to be honest with you, I don't remember much about the movies that the story talked about. I'm sure we did watch movies. Is there any specific Christmas movie you remember?
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Okay, besides that one.
The Star.
The Star? What was that one about?
That one was, it's a Christian movie, and it was about the birth of Jesus Christ. And the main character was a donkey. A talking donkey.
Was it a cartoon style?
Yes.
Ah. Well, now that we're bringing this episode to a close, which was a 2-piece episode this time.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, fancy. What do we hope for this Christmas? Well, I'm going to just go out and say the cream cheese mints. I want those again.
Those sound delicious.
And of course, that we keep warm because it's hitting the cold part of the year again. Eggnog. I love eggnog. It's good stuff.
Eggnog is really good.
And that the internet keeps working, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we all need the internet. Can't get by anymore. Back then, what was the internet? A poor dial-up connection at times. No, actually, even before that, we didn't even have internet. Oh, man. The Stone Ages.
Let's wish our listeners a Merry Christmas.
That is true. So everybody out there, have a good and happy holidays. We'll see you at our next podcast.
With fireworks.
So we must be talking New Year's.
You'll have to wait and see.
From the class of 1996.
And the class of 2026.
This has been Midlife Young.
Don't miss out on future episodes by subscribing to our podcast.
And find us online at midlifeyoung.com. Thank you for listening.